Hello, my name is Ann Frost, and I am the Executive Director of Visit Pella. And I am here today with Rob Bandstra, and he is our board vice chair of the Visit Pella board. And Rob, thanks for coming today.
Anytime.
So, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then
All right.
what do you do in the community?
Okay. Well, my wife and I, my wife Kim, we run the Cheesemakers Inn Bed and Breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly her, but the outside is my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And we love to share hospitality with our guests that come to Pella.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I'm involved in a lot of volunteer aspects of the community. Maybe you can see that from what I'm wearing today, but I also volunteer at church, school, and the American Legion and other agencies besides Visit Pella.
Great. Where can people find information about the Cheesemakers Inn?
Oh, well, we are on the outskirts of town and a little bit of a hidden treasure is what we think. So you can go to our website, which is www.cheesemakersin.com.
Okay.
And you can link there from the Visit Pella page.
Yep.
and other sources as well. If you Google us, you'll see that we're the #1 rated. So we hope that it's easy to find.
Yes, it's a beautiful building. The yard, it's stunning. Yeah, very good. And you provide breakfast, correct?
Oh yes, that is the highlight, and we have some signature breakfasts that I think really adds a lot of value to the stay. The rooms are comfortable, well appointed, but when people walk away from the Cheesemakers Inn, it's the breakfast that you see the comments on the about, and it adds a lot of value for a nice leisurely breakfast for a couple.
Great, good. What do you enjoy most about being a part of the Visit Pella board?
Well, being on the board, we have representatives from corporate, we have representatives from retail, from Central College, all of these agencies. And it kind of becomes the confluence of what's happening in Pella. And that's really important for a hotelier like myself, or just someone who's community minded, to know what's going on and what conferences are coming to the college and what dealer meetings are happening at corporate, as well as just the onesie-twosies that come to town to visit us for tourism. So all of those things intersect on the board at Visit Pella.
Yeah, it's great to create those partnerships, work together. Everybody knows what everybody is doing, or most of the time. But then it makes a better experience for our visitors when we're kind of all on the same page.
Oh, sure.
And can work together.
Definitely.
So how would you describe Pella to someone who has never been here?
I would describe it as worth taking the exit.
Okay.
There's a lot of small towns in the Midwest, in Iowa. You see a sign, but there's once you venture into that small town, there might not be anything that's unique about that small town. But once you do take the exit and you come to Pella, you see I have not seen this before. This is unique, and this is a wonderful place.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. Lots of experiences. We did some 14 days of Valentine's Day, and one of the days all about experiences in Pella. And when you stop and really start counting all those things, there's a lot to do here. Yeah, it's great. Worth it taking the exit. I like that. What is a don't miss in Pella that you think visitors need to see or do?
Well, I talk to a lot of guests and visitors that come to town, working at the Info Windmill, as well as at the B&B. And a lot of people come to town and they just hit the bakery or they hit the meat market, maybe their favorite retail shop. But I encourage them to explore a little bit deeper after business hours. So, there's places like De Kelder, the speakeasy, where you can go downstairs that don't open until later in the afternoon. Some people get to the meat market on the east side of the square and they look down to the north and they see a car parts shop or something like that, and they turn
Mm-hmm.
around. But if they venture that way, they find Thistle's Flower Shop
Mm-hmm.
and the Paperie,
Mm-hmm.
and they can just continue on to Sunken Gardens Park if they're there to sightsee for
Mm-hmm.
the flowers. So those are some of the things. I think the nightlife in Pella is worth exploring just
Yes.
as much as the day life.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great point. There are lots of things and places to eat and drink and have a good meal, and
Hmm.
lots of free things too. Sunken Gardens, Tuttle Cabin, the Learning Walk,
Right.
murals that are going to be popping up here pretty soon. Lots of things to take in. Where is your favorite place to visit in Pella?
My favorite place.
I've seen you at DeKelder a lot.
I am at the DeKelder quite a bit. That is definitely a favorite.
Hmm.
But I kind of like to go up high and look over the landscape.
Hmm.
So our bed and breakfast has a unique view of Pella's skyline. If
Oh,
you've never thought
hmm.
of that,
Hmm.
when I'm out at the lake, I like to go up to Cordova Tower,
Hmm.
and perhaps when I'm here in town, I'll go up to the top of Butcher's Brew House,
Yeah.
on their patio.
Hmm.
But I like to go climbing and to see the entire vista,
Hmm.
of Pella, and
Hmm.
you just see it from a different perspective.
Yeah, yeah. Great points, great places to visit. Why should visitors come to Pella, and what is a takeaway that you think that they should take with them?
Well, I think when they come to Pella, they come for different reasons, and it's always fascinating to me to learn why they've come to town.
Mm-hmm.
Some are touching base with relatives and family. Some are just hitting treats and highlights and spots like that. But we like to share a unique hospitality
Mm-hmm.
in Pella, where people are friendly and your architecture is unique. The
Mm-hmm.
boutiques are neat. There are so many mom and pop businesses that make Pella unique.
Mm-hmm.
So when they leave Pella, I want them to have the impression of, that's a unique place that you don't find
Mm-hmm.
anywhere else. It's
Yeah.
not a franchise, it's more mom and pop.
Yeah, I love that too about Pella is they are invested. It's a lot of mom and pop, especially in the
Hmm.
downtown area, and we don't have to worry about those franchise moving into our downtown and kind of messing up our landscape. It's
Yeah.
just very homey feeling, and
Hmm.
it's very lovely. What would be a souvenir that you think people should take with them for their remembrance of their time in Pella?
Well, most of them are edible,
Yeah.
so those won't last very long.
Uh-huh. But they can
Um,
always order by mail.
they can, but I think I would take away a sticker or
Okay.
or two,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's something you put on your coffee mug or your
Hmm.
laptop or whatever, and then that will just remind you and everybody around you
Yeah.
of your unique experience in Pella.
Yeah. And we sell those stickers here at Visit Pella, and we can mail them to people, so it's even better. Rob, do you have anything else you would like to add about tourists, visitors coming to Pella, or about Pella in general?
I think Pella, one of the things that makes it unique is all of the volunteers that are engaged in our
Mm-hmm.
community.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I were just talking about, you can support Pella Historical, you can support Pella Trust, you can
Mm-hmm.
support Spirit of Pella, you can support Visit Pella, the schools, the churches, everything
Mm-hmm.
requires energy and volunteers to
Mm-hmm.
operate. And Pella has no shortage of those.
Yeah.
And that creates a civic pride and engagement that you
Mm-hmm.
just don't find anywhere else.
That is so true. I was doing my first podcast with Tom from Dutch the Magazine the other day, and he is from a Dutch community in Canada, and he came last year for Tulip Time 2022, and he could not believe all the people running in the Klompen Classic. He
Mm-hmm.
and then he said all the people standing on the sidelines cheering people on, and
Mm-hmm.
he is doing 4 or 5 podcasts just about Pella, the area,
Oh.
Dutch culture in America, and he is just blown away about the Pella community. He could not say it enough
Mm-hmm.
how much pride we have. And I think sometimes pride is a good thing because then it just makes us continue to do good things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us, Rob. Thanks for coming on, and
Anytime.
we will see you soon.